What's up, my friends? Welcome to the first video of how to build your empire. I am so excited to get into this. So on this first video, we're going to really be starting from the basics here. We're going to be talking about what should I sell. So one of the most important things when you are thinking of starting your own e-commerce business is understanding what product you should be selling. So we're going to be talking about a couple key things to think about here. I'm going to give you some next steps and action steps. And then I'm going to be sharing how I came up with the idea to start my new business, which this whole series is about. It's not just about theory. I'm going to be sharing bits with you, and then I'm going to walk you through how I'm doing it to start a new business here. So you can really not just learn, again, by theory, but actually see what I'm doing. So the first thing, and really one of the most important things when you're starting a new business, is what should you sell? There are a lot of things out in the world that you can sell. It doesn't mean that you should sell them. So we want to really be thinking about how can I create the most profitable product idea that's going to be a smart business idea. Again, I'm going to use the word smart here. I have started this will be my third business. I'm also in the process of starting a fourth business, which is going to be a technology and SaaS company that's going to help e-commerce businesses with strategy and growth. So I am on, technically business number 3 and 4 here. My first business was a pet e-commerce and a subscription box business in the pet industry. The second business is more consulting and teaching people how to grow e-commerce businesses. So I have courses, education, that kind of thing. So basically, my point here is that there are a lot of things that you could sell and a lot of business ideas, but you want to choose one that's going to be something that's profitable. We want this to be a business, not a hobby. We want you to not make the same mistakes I made with my first business, and I made so many mistakes. So number one, the most important thing is there are already a million products in the world. People don't necessarily need another product. They need a solution to a problem. So when you're in this stage of thinking of, okay, I think it would be really fun to start an e-commerce business or an online store or sell a physical product, but what does that look like? What should it be? I want you to always have this one thing in the back of your head. Does it have a clear pain point? Is my product solving a clear solution that people are actually searching for? If the answer is no, then I would not do this business idea. There are a million ideas that you can come up with. And if you find an idea in a specific industry or niche that you're interested in, let's say the kid space or the pet space or the clothing space or health and wellness, there are a million things that you could do. Keep the same industry or niche that you're thinking of, but just choose a different product. So something that people need a solution for. So for example, my new business I'm starting is a dog poop bag company. And I'm going to get into all the nitty gritty with you of why I chose that and what I'm going to be doing that makes mine different than other people. So stay tuned for that in this video. But for now, I just want to kind of walk you through some specific important things here. So if I'm starting a dog poop bag company, the solution to people's problem is I'm creating a product that people can use while they're out walking their dog, where they have to pick up their dog poop if their dog poops. And this is a very clear problem solution situation we have going on here. I am creating a product that picks up someone's dog poop because you're not really allowed to just leave your dog poop all over the place. Some people do, and I have as well in the past for different reasons. Sometimes I'm like, shit, I don't have any poop bags. I can't pick up the poop. So my point here is that it solves a problem for someone. Where I think at the same token, starting, for example, a dog bandana company. So yes, you can argue there's some solution to a problem that people have. People want their dogs to look cute. And I agree, like dog bandanas are really fun. I manufacture dog bandanas for my first business. So I'm very aware of how fun they are. But it's kind of this whole concept of a vitamin versus a painkiller. And I think a vitamin versus a painkiller is exactly the right analogy that a dog poop bag versus a dog bandana is. A dog bandana is the vitamin. It's nice to have. It can make life better for you. maybe it can make life fun because you're solving some issues with the body, like more energy or whatever it is. But a painkiller, you need the painkiller. You have pain, you need something that takes the pain away from you. So the painkiller is the dog poop bag. We need dog poop bags if we have a dog. Like, it is a non-negotiable, kind of like having a dog leash. It's a non-negotiable. You need them. So that's what I want you to get crystal clear on. Do you have a product idea that is a painkiller or a vitamin? And I want you to choose the painkiller always. I don't care if you're passionate about dog bandanas. I don't care if you're passionate about whatever it is. Choose the thing that solves a problem for someone, and be very clear on that it solves a problem. Okay. And I like the vitamin versus painkiller because it makes sense in your brain. You're like, okay, yeah, that product idea is more of a vitamin. It's a nice to have, but it's not a mandatory thing. Okay. So that's number one. Does your product solve a clear pain point for someone? Number two, so I'm going to give you advice here that I wish I knew from the get-go. And some of the things I'm going to talk to you about in this video are things that I wish I kind of knew up front. So I started a dog subscription box business and an e-commerce store. So part of what I'm going to tell you now, I did from the beginning, but not in the smartest way. Okay. So when you're thinking about a product to sell, and I'm going to niche down into saying product, I'm not even talking about a brand. I don't want you to think about, I want to start a clothing store and I want to sell 7,000 different products. No, you start with one hero product. One hero product. Actually, I'm going to add this in here. One hero product to start. So you want to choose one main thing. So again, if you're wanting to go into the pet industry, dog poop bags, dog poop bag holders, dog leashes, dog whatever you're thinking, lick mats. If you're wanting to do a kid product, actually, I'm going to skip the kid products because I'm not good with kid stuff. Even though I do have a kid, I kind of forget what I used to buy for him when he was little. So let's skip that part. But let's say you're wanting to go into health and wellness and you want to create some sort of exercise equipment or some kind of like portable water bottle that you can bring with yourself at the gym or something, whatever it is. Like, I want you to just think of one main product. And in an ideal world, the product could be something that is replenishable. So a replenishable product that people can order on repeat. So on a subscription. So if I'm going to give you like the best case scenarios here, I think the most important thing that your product has to have is the clear pain point or problem. So I'm going to actually highlight this in a fun purple color. Okay. And we're going to increase the font so you really understand that this is a must have. It must solve a pain point. Okay. Having something that is a replenishable is something that's really smart to have. So when you're thinking about a product, you might think of a couple things at the same time. If it solves a clear pain point, and it's something that people would buy, it's a replenishable, or they would need it over and over again, that's going to be the winner. Okay. Because what that does for you is you can set it up on a subscription. So I'm going to highlight subscription here as well. And I like to highlight things just to kind of like prove my point. Okay. I'm going to underline this. This is a really important one. This will get you sales on autopilot. This will get you repeatable revenue. Okay. It's really important. This is such an important thing that isn't talked about enough when you're thinking about having an e-commerce business. Yet it actually should be talked about more, because something that is a replenishable, something like let's say a vitamin, for example, or a skin treatment, or I'm trying to think of the things that I buy. Even like I buy pickles in a pouch. I'm obsessed with them. I'm blanking on what they're called, Snap or something. I buy them from Amazon and I have mine set up on an auto renew because I'm obsessed with like these pickles and I want them shipped to my house every single month. So food, I'm not really going to go talking about food industry too much because that's a whole other ball game. But my point here is something that people would get on autopilot. And for me, some of the things that I get on autopilot are dog supplements for my two dogs that have joint issues. I forget what they're called, but they're just some kind of I don't know, something um, that they need every single month. I also get my fish oil pills on autopilot because I had eye surgery years ago, and so my eyes are extremely dried out. And so I need those fish oil pills. Like that for me is a painkiller, are my fish oil pills. I need those. So I get those on autopilot. And I get a couple other, skin oil, facial oils and things like that that I use on autopilot. So a product that is a replenishable, people use it and they need more. That is your winner right here. This is if you take away anything from this video, this is the one thing to take away, is a product that is a replenishable. The products that I would argue to stay away from are products that you would just buy one time. So if it's something that people would just buy one time and then walk away, I don't want you to have that business. Okay. So much of what I'm going to tell you in this video series, and I'm going to walk you through how I build out with this new business I'm starting, is you want to get customers to come back to you over and over again. That's a really, really important thing. So having something that's a replenishable that people can set up on an auto order is really, really important. The third thing I'm going to talk about here is this comes down to a product kind of characteristic. And again, I wish someone had told me when I was starting, choose something that's lightweight, non-breakable. It's going to be cheaper to ship. If you are manufacturing stuff or you're buying inventory from overseas, the bigger your item is, the more expensive it's going to be for you to not only ship it from overseas to the US or wherever you're located, it's also going to be more expensive for you to ship to customers. So your opportunity of a lot of things will go down if you are shipping something that's breakable, like a mug, for example. I love mugs. I love buying mugs. I don't think it's a good product to sell. They're heavy and they're fragile. They will break. And I don't want you to deal with that kind of customer service issues. Plus, if you have something that's fragile, like for example, I've thought of starting really fun coffee cups. So I love coffee. I love talking about coffee. And I really love the idea of selling these like fun coffee cups that you could buy. The reason I didn't do it is because I'm like, oh, that's a nightmare to produce. If I'm going to get them shipped from overseas, glass, fragile, breakable, no. Then you deal with the issues of shipping things to customers. Again, things show up at a customer's house and they're broken. They're going to be pissed off. They're going to email you. They're going to want a refund, or, they want a new mug, or I'm sorry, a new cup. It's a mess. So while I love mugs and I love buying them from people, and I do buy glasses from people and things like that, I don't want you to start that business because it is a breakable. And unless you are, like, for example, an exception to this would be, I see a lot of these cups on Instagram, and they are these beautiful ceramic style mugs, and they're very intricate. They're handmade. The person is making them in their house or their studio with whatever the fuck you make, mugs out of. And they are beautiful and they're intricate and they're unique and they're expensive. Like, I'm talking $100 plus for a beautiful mug or whatever people are charging. I've seen the prices are quite high. So if you're charging $100 for this really high end, beautiful cup or mug, then you're probably going to build in some additional padding and support when you ship to customers. So this is very different than if I'm manufacturing these generic cups or mugs from overseas and shipping them to customers. That would be a different thing. Because if you're just having these boring glasses printed, they're not unique or special really. Customers aren't going to want to pay extra for those, right? But if you're like you're an artist and you are handcrafting these beautiful mugs made from scratch in your home country, I'm going to use US because that's where I'm based, then people will pay more for that. So handmade is a different ballgame here, but people will pay more for a handmade, made in the US, made in Canada, made in the UK, made in Australia. Like, people will pay more for that. So that's kind of the exception to the rule here. But I'm more or less talking about a product that you can mass produce, you can, sell and buy at scale. And having something that's fragile, breakable, or heavy is a no-no. Okay. It is a no-no. Shipping costs continue to go up and customers don't value shipping costs. Okay. The next one is, and this is something that is a really fun thing to start thinking about, but I'm going to give you again what I wish I knew from day one. That's literally the reason I'm creating this whole series here. So we're going to talk about this one right here. So one product that you can sell. So we have this concept of a hero product. So you start a business, and maybe for you that is selling soap, or maybe for you that is selling enamel pins that you wear, or for you, maybe that's selling a candle. Whatever it is, you have one main product and there may be variations to that product. So if it's a candle business, you might have different scents. If it's a card business, then you might have different cards. Okay, that's fine. But when I say this concept of a hero product, it just means you're selling one specific thing. So water bottles, handcrafted, handmade ceramic mugs, candles, greeting cards, one thing. So you have one product, but then you have a very clear and obvious upsell as a different product. So for example, I'm starting a dog poop bag company. It's going to be fun. It's going to be vibrant. It's going to be almost BarkBox branding meets Poppy branding. So Poppy the drink. And so what I'm doing here is I'm going to have my one hero product, which is a dog poop bag. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have an obvious upsell at the end, which is going to be a dog poop bag holder. So we have the poop bag, but then what's missing here is actually once you pick up your dog's poop and you have this bag of poop in your hand, you need something ideally that can clip onto the leash so you don't have to hold the dog poop bags. So that is a super obvious upsell. And I'm kind of toying around with having an option where you can buy the dog poop bag and the poop bag holder together. But actually, I'm going to be smart here and I'm going to sell them different. I'm going to sell them separately. So we're going to have the dog poop bag as one thing. And then at the checkout process or the cart page, hey, would you like to add on this dog poop bag holder to your order? So you never have to hold a bag of poop in your hand. It clips onto your leash easily for like, let's say $6 or $6.99 or $8.99, something that is not a super high price point, but that makes sense with your hero product. It complements your hero product. That is a really smart business decision because right off the bat, what this does for you is it's going to increase your average order value. So average order value is, I'm going to write this out for you, AOV, average order value. So you just went from selling, let's say, the dog poop bags. I don't know the price I'm going to do yet, but let's just say $15. And you get a box of really fun dog poop bags. Now, if we do a dog poop bag holder for $5.99, we just increase the order from $15 to $20 with no additional marketing, literally no additional marketing. At the end, when the customer is ready to buy from you, you're like, hey, you can also add this thing to your order. Everyone does it. Amazon does it. Other people do it. It's an upsell or a cross sell. You can call them different things as you want. Different people call them different things. I'll call it an upsell for now because that makes sense. Like, for example, you go to McDonald's and they're like, hey, would you like to add this to your order? For 99 cents more, you can upgrade or whatever. Things like that. So you probably have seen that when you're checking out of online stores or you're buying products, and you may not have thought of it in a business sense, but that's what they're doing. They're actually doing what's called either an upsell or a cross sell, and they are increasing their average order value right then and there every time you're like, yes, I would like to add on 99 cents. Yes, I would like to add on that dog poop bag holder for $5 more. It's such an important thing. And I want you to always think, okay, if I have one hero product, what's the upsell product? And so it's not going to be your hero product. You sell them, and maybe you don't sell them at all. You only have it as like that add-on. It's up to you how you want to do that. But it needs to be something that's complementary. But I want you to start thinking about that. What could the upsell product be that complements the hero product? And then lastly, I want you to start thinking, okay, one of the objections I get all the time, and I'm going to make a note of this here. So as I'm talking, I'm just going to kind of write out some notes. And this series is not going to be a huge, like my face on a video and I'm just talking. I want you to kind of see some of the written words here on the screen, but I also want you to think of this as just, it's kind of like a normal training or tutorial. I don't know. I didn't want to go down the route of making these Canva slideshows or whatever, but I also didn't want to have it just me on a huge video screen like normal YouTube videos are. I wanted it to be kind of somewhere in between. And so I thought, you know what, we'll just do simple Google Docs and we'll just keep it simple. I'll have a couple notes on the screen and I'll just talk through each note so you can kind of see them as I'm going through, which for some of you might not like that. Some of you might find it helpful, but I'm kind of just keeping it simple here. So when you're thinking about a product, one of the things that I hear all the time as an objection is the market is too saturated. Okay, so I'm actually going to make a note of that. Market is too saturated. So I hear this all the time from people. So no, I can't start another candle business because that's a saturated market. Like, why would someone buy from me? So the biggest thing I want you to think of here is it doesn't really matter if the market is saturated. So it does matter and it doesn't. Okay, I'm gonna have a caveat here. It doesn't matter if something is saturated because it's really up to you to come in and figure out and identify, how can I be different from everyone else? What is one thing that all the other people are doing that I could do differently? Or most importantly, what are the things that customers are complaining about or asking for? I wish you had this, or I wish you offered this, or God, I hate how you do this and I hate this. I want you to look at those opportunities as that's how you could take a product in a very saturated space and make it different from everyone else. So I don't want you to just launch a poop bag and go on Amazon and look at, okay, this is the things that everyone is doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. That's going to be where your mistake is, because it's going to be really hard for you to stand out. Versus if you take a product that is in a saturated space and you do your own research and due diligence and figure out, these are the things that people are complaining about for the top 10 to 20 product brands. So if you're wanting to sell candles, I want you to do your due diligence and I want you to look at, what are the top 20 candle brands? And maybe we're not talking about Yankee Candle or any of that crap. We're talking about smaller or indie brands. And you want to be looking at, what are customers complaining about? So going to the Amazon pages, looking at reviews, going to these candle companies' websites, looking at the reviews on the product pages, going on Google, going on Yelp, just Googling or trying to figure out, what are people complaining about when it comes to candles, and doing something different. And then looking at, what are people asking for? People, like, going through reviews on businesses will actually tell you everything that you need to know, but you need to understand how to analyze that information. But you can go through and look at reviews and people will tell you what they want, what they're looking for. And then looking at tools like, I think it's called Answer the Public or Ask the Public. I always forget what it's called. Answer the Public. Yeah. So this right here is such an awesome tool that you could use to understand what people are searching for. So this is something that I did for someone in one of my programs recently. So if I go in here and I go down, let's see, we can pull up, I literally did this exact search right here, dog poop bags. So it's going to tell you all these questions that people are asking for. So, are dog poop bags biodegradable? Can dog poop bags go in compost? That doesn't make sense. How are dog poop bags made? Are dog poop bags sanitary? Are dog poop bags recyclable? Who makes this dog poop bag? Whatever. So you'll understand what questions people are asking when it comes to a product. And if you kind of dig deep into these kind of things, you'll figure out what people are asking, what they're looking for. And that's where your opportunity is when you're starting a new business, is you need to understand, if something already exists, how can I be different and how can I create something that's better than my competitors, essentially. So for example, I'm starting a new dog poop bag company. So I'm going to do more videos where I'm going to actually walk you through some of the things that I'm doing. But just to start off with our first video here, because I think this really is the most important thing. Because once you have a good product to sell. Everything else is just following the steps. But the problem is, I think people that start businesses, what they're doing is they're not thinking of a product that has a pain point. They're not thinking of, oh, wow, this could be something that people could put on like an autopilot or auto renew. They're choosing something that people will just buy one time. They're choosing things that are breakable, fragile, too big, expensive to ship. They're choosing a product that's in a really saturated space, but then they're not doing something different. They're following the herds. They're following the crowds. And these are the reasons why so many businesses fail. So I'm starting a dog poop bag company. And so if you go on to, Amazon, let's just go on Amazon really quickly. Okay. We're going to go on Amazon and we're going to look up if it actually opens. We're going to look up dog poop bags and then watch what happens here. Okay. Look at that. The first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you notice anything similar about this row of product here? What is the one similar thing that you notice? Oh, wow. Everyone is this boring green. This one has and I'm not trying to say anything bad about any of these businesses, okay? I'm just quickly off the top of my head giving you what stands out to me. Everyone has like either a paw print or like something that feels a little overdone in the product space. It's like a paw print. This one, I can't really see what they have on there, but it looks like some kind of a paw print or something on the sticker or whatever this is. Maybe it's like, I don't know what that is. This one is just kind of plain. I think this, Earth Rated has rebranded a little bit, and I do actually think their colors look really nice here. And then this one has like a corgi kind of dog face on it, okay? Let's go one more row down and let's see what we see here. Another Earth Rated, the same black one again, this one here. So this one, these are, let's see, these are all ads. So we have another row of green. We have the Amazon ones that are black, and then we have these ones that are like, I don't know, some colors, again, with like paw prints and dog bones. So nothing that stands out to me, to be honest with you. Then I'm going to scroll down a little bit, and then we start to see a little bit of variation. We have these cute pink ones. We have these like pale, like beigey ones. We have more green. We have more green with dog faces on them. These ones are, I don't know, blue, whatever. And then kind of the same thing. So like if you scroll through quickly the first few rows of product, everything is green. Everything has either like a dog face or a dog bone or a paw print on them. Nothing really like is popping out at you as standing out, possibly with the exception of this blue one, this pink one. And that's pretty much it. Even these ones, I don't think they kind of stand out to me because they lack personality. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude against whatever brand this is. So this is the problem here is the average person would say, oh, I want to start a dog poop bag company. And what do? They go find a supplier. They're like, okay, green poop bags because everyone else is doing green. So I think I also need to do green too. So we do green poop bag. We're like, okay, let's do a paw print or a paw print sticker or a dog head on the box or the actual bag. They don't think outside of the box, literally. They just follow the herd of people. And that is the biggest mistake that you could make. So I'm starting a dog poop bag company, and trust me, I'm going to be showing you all the behind the scenes of all the things. But the biggest thing I'm doing is I'm going to be making mine look totally different. They're going to be fun. They're going to be a fun, vibrant, millennial, modern vibe and feel. So nothing like any of this. Okay. And I'm doing that strategically. I'm doing it on purpose because I want when someone scrolls through and sees my thing on Amazon, they're like, oh my God, yes. Scroll stopping. And that is how I created my first business, the Dapper Dog Box. I started a pet subscription box in a very saturated space. And I looked at what everyone else was doing and I said, okay, everyone is doing this. I need to be over here. I need to be doing something totally different. And I started the only pet subscription box that was more high end, that was more like modern millennial dog moms. And we offered fun accessories as part of our box to keep ourselves different from everyone else. So I actually started the most expensive dog subscription box in a very saturated space. And I didn't just jump in and copy everyone else and say, okay, well, everyone is charging this, so I'm going to charge $1 less. And everyone is giving this in their box, so I'm going to give the same thing. I did something that was very different, and I actually was the most expensive box. So you have to not follow the herds of people that are already doing the same thing. You have to do something that makes you stand out. And when someone is scrolling through an Amazon list of products or a blog of like, here are the top 10 health and wellness products that you need to be trying in 2024, you want your stuff to stand out against everyone else. So if you're doing a health and wellness product, a lot of health and wellness products are either like a green, like a pale green or a pale blue or a pale orange. Maybe you do something at the opposite end where you have like a neon green, or you have like a fuchsia pink or something that when someone is scrolling through, your stuff pops off the page. Okay. It's so, so, so important. And then the last thing I want to talk about is hobbies. So if you are stuck on, you might take all this information and say, okay, that's great, Carrie, but I don't know what to start. I don't know what industry to start. I don't know what niche I want to do. I have no idea. So the one thing I want to leave you with is think about hobbies. So think about hobbies that you do today. What are they? And then start from there. Think about popular hobbies that people do in general. So off the top of my head, you know, what I see a lot online right now are cooking videos. And I'm the first one to kind of make fun of all these goddamn cooking videos. However, there's something about watching a cooking there's something about watching a cooking video. It pulls you in. You see the story, the process of them going to the refrigerator, taking out the food, putting it on the table, chopping it up. They have snapshots of their apron that they're wearing to cover their clothes. They have all these little trinkets and gadgets to chop up food and store food in these fun little containers and fun utensils and fun things. And I watch that and I'm constantly like, wow, that is such a good idea of a product business to start, is something within the cooking or food space that isn't like a food product, but it's like a food storage or food cooking accessory. I think those are really smart because people love the cooking videos. I mean, find any random person who makes cooking videos and you go to their followers, they have hundreds of thousands, millions of followers. And you're like, why? Why do they have so many followers? And it's something to be said about watching these cooking videos. They draw people in. And I think a lot of people like me don't know what to cook. They need cooking ideas or inspiration. And so they go to Instagram or TikTok and they find people who make cooking videos and they watch them. So if you are someone who makes cooking videos and you're constantly showing a tote bag, a grocery haul bag, a chopper piece, a specific type of really pretty spoon that you use every single time you stir ingredients together. Those are easy products. You can literally make a really fun, like for example, okay, I'm going to go back to the add-on. So we're going to talk about this here for one sec, just to prove my point. Having a clear and obvious upsell product. So I'm going to show you an example of Magic Spoon cereal and spoon. So this is a product. I actually made a YouTube video on them. I think they are one of the most genius brands ever. Like, I'm obsessed. They sell cereal. It's literally at the grocery store I went to recently, I found it for $11 a box. $11 a box for a box of cereal. That is absurd, okay? It is. However, you look at the cereal box and you're like, whoa, it's so pretty. It's magical. It stands out. It is beautiful. And the cereal is healthy. It's like keto friendly and grain free and this and this and this and this. So it's like a healthier cereal for people. And what they do here is you buy the box of cereal, and at the end, you can add on this spoon. So again, I don't know who these people are, but okay, I'm going to actually, sorry, this is not the right, that's not the right thing that I want to show you. But let me just actually just go to the website really quickly. So Magic Spoon cereal. We're going to actually go to the website together. Okay. So we're going to go through the process, and we're going to just add a box of cereal to the cart. So let's just add this, whatever variety box. So 6 boxes of cereal for $54. Okay. If you're thinking about the cost of an average box of cereal, it might be like $3 to $4 possibly. And so you're paying double or sometimes triple the amount for 1 box of cereal. And they can get away with that because, one, their branding is beautiful. It's fun. It's like playful and childlike, but at the same time, it's fun, and like a modern millennial will love it. And we're going to add this to the cart. And then we're going to see right here, make it a subscription and save, but we're going to say no, thank you. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to look at the upsells. So we have an upsell right here of honey graham and oatmeal cookies. No, we're going to say no to this. And then zebra bowl and spoon set. So let's just add this for shits and giggles. I really just wanted to add the spoon to the checkout process, but they've really tried to upsell me with a spoon and a bowl. So we're going to get out of this for a sec. Whoops. We're going to go back to the page here, and we're going to look at, do they sell just the spoon? Maybe they don't just sell the spoon. So yeah, maybe the spoon, okay, bundles, maybe it's right here. So it's probably like the box plus the spoon. But I'm literally not seeing it, which is very funny. They must do an upsell after. I have no idea. So we're going to go back to Google, and we're going to do Magic Spoon. So basically, it looks like this. I'm having a hard time finding it and to prove my point here, and I don't want to go on a total tangent. But basically, it's funny that it's like not obvious anywhere. But anyway, it's basically this spoon right here, okay? It's like purpley and metallic and fun, and then it like goes into this color pattern below. And then on the spoon, I think it says Magic Spoon cereal, or it says Magic Spoon. On the back, it says stainless steel. So they've created this awesome upsell product that when you look at it, you're like, oh yes, I have to have the spoon. And that's kind of what made me end up buying their spoon in the first place. And it's such an obvious upsell. So I think they're so brilliant. But kind of coming back to the whole hobbies thing, you just want to kind of think about some of those things that we talked about, but also what are the things that people are willing to pay for? People will always spend money on a hobby. People will always spend money on things that they like to do. So again, for me, I love dog walking. Dog walking has become like my therapy. I'm obsessed with it. I walk my dogs every single day. I love it so much. I also love paddle boarding and kayaking, in particular paddle boarding. So I could say, okay, what are some products that people use to have a good paddle boarding experience? A million things you can come up with. You come up with like a little cooler that could get attached to the bag. You could come up with a waterproof phone case. You could come up with all sorts of things, like things that could strap something to the paddleboard. Let's take a different hobby, dog walking. We have the leashes, we have dog poop bag holders, we have poop bags. So there are things that are kind of related to a hobby, and people always spend money on hobbies. So that should be, if you're not sure what to do, I want you to think of a hobby. And you can literally go to like Wikipedia and download a list of, not download, you can look at a list of hobbies. You can also just think in general, what space or industry do I have interest in? So maybe you're someone who is obsessed with working out, or you're obsessed with different things within health and wellness or cooking. Those are things that, again, people will spend money on. So if we're going to go back to the cooking thing, so say you like cooking and you love like meal planning and meal prepping and all that, you could literally say, okay, what are some really interesting things within the cooking space? And I already literally just told you, you could create really fun spoons, like the magic spoon. You could create a specific type of, what do they call it? Like a spatula, or like something that would stir food in a pot or something. And again, you take a product that people already have, but you make it interesting or unique on your own. Different types of food bags, like a food haul tote bag or something, or um, just things where you could store, like maybe it's some kind of a container that you could put your fruit in on your counter. I don't really like that idea, to be honest, but I'm just trying to brain dump some ideas for you. Or an apron. An apron is really fun because it's really small, it's lightweight, and you could do, you know, if people cook a lot, they wouldn't mind having a couple aprons. So you just want to kind of just start brain dumping hobbies and things that you like to do, or that it's a space that you have some interest in, and just kind of go from there. And then start looking into just Googling what products, go even chat GPT, go to chat GPT and just type in what products are people looking for to buy in the cooking space or the pet space or this space. Looking up hobbies and coming down with a list of those. Looking on, even just going to Etsy, for example, and just typing in an industry or niche and just see what pops up. And it just can kind of give you some ideas. So for the next steps, sorry. Oopsies. What did I just do? Okay. So for next steps on what to do today. So I'm going to give you action steps for every single video that we do here together. So after today, the next video is going to be me kind of walking through a little bit more on the product idea that I'm going to be doing. This idea was a little bit more educational because you have to understand this kind of stuff before you even think about starting a product-based business. So the next video that I do is going to be walking you through kind of why I chose the dog poop bag. I've already kind of talked about it a little bit, but we're going to have standalone videos for everything. And so for this, we're going to have a couple action steps. Number one, what industries or niches do you like? So starting a product-based business, you don't have to like love the product idea. And for some of you, it might be a very strategic decision. I don't like cooking supplies, but I feel like there's a huge potential. Again, I could make cooking videos and then I could on the back end sell a specific product, like a tote bag or an apron or a spoon that I could manufacture, whatever. You might not love that, but you see a potential path, and you either could feel okay doing it yourself, or you know that at some point I can hire someone else to run the business for me or do the marketing for you. I will say 100%, you will have an easier time growing a business, starting a business, doing all the things with a business if you actually like what you're selling. If you don't like what you're selling, as a first-time business owner, I'd recommend you don't do that. Like, start a business with something that you like. It's going to be way more fun for you to continue working on the business if it's something that you actually like. If you don't like it, it's going to be really hard for you to do the business, I think, because you're going to run into really hard times. And when you're running into a really hard time and you also hate what you're selling, you're probably not going to stick with it. So the best advice I can give you here is start a business, something that you are really excited to sell and talk about. Okay. But just to get started, what industries or niches do you like? Number two, what hobbies do you have? So make a list of hobbies that you have: dog walking, kayaking, paddleboarding, hiking, going on road trips, traveling, going to brunch, like whatever it is, make a list. And then make a list too, what would you be interested in selling within that industry or niche or hobby or whatever. And then number 3, research and feedback. So looking at competitors, looking at customer reviews within those industries that you just made you have an idea on, and just start looking at what are people saying within that industry or niche? What are people talking about? What are customers saying about the product that they like or don't like? And then here's your action steps for today. Make a list of 5 industries or niches. So thinking about hobbies, Googling, going on Etsy, using ChatGPT if you want to, whatever. What are 5 industries or niches that you are thinking about starting a business in? And then under those 5 industries or niches, I want you to make a list of 10 potential product ideas under each one. So we just talked about what things make up a good product. And so right here, here's a little reminder for you. We're going to bullet these really quickly. Is it something that could be put on a subscription or a replenishable product? Check. Is it small-ish, non-breakable, easy to ship? Check. Does it have a clear pain point or a problem solution that you could create with your product? Check. And then lastly, are people searching for it on Google? So this might be a little bit hard to know off the cuff if you haven't had a business before, but using tools like answerthepublic.com and just looking at what are people asking about when it comes to the product, or going to things like Google Trends. You can type in like rollerblades or dog poop bags or compostable poop bags or waterproof phone pouches for kayaking. You can kind of start typing that kind of stuff in and seeing if people are searching for it. And then lastly, and this is going to be a little bit more of an advanced step, but you can use tools like ubersuggest.com, and then just plugging in some details about your business. And I'm going to do a video on this, so stay tuned if you're like, what the hell are you talking about? But you can kind of plug in some keywords. So again, if you're thinking about starting a waterproof phone pouch for a kayaking ideal customer, or you were thinking about creating an apron for cooking videos, or you're thinking about creating a really fun spoon or utensil or thing like that for cooking people, typing that kind of stuff into Uber Suggest and looking at, literally it'll tell you how many people are searching for that each month. You want it to be something that people are actually looking for. If people aren't actually looking for your product, then it's going to be harder for you to sell. So these are your action steps for this video. I want you to watch these videos, but also take the time and do the action steps, because this is what's going to help you to creating the best profitable product idea for your business. So this video was really, really long. It's definitely like, when I came up with this idea to record the whole process of starting a business, it's almost as if I'm taking videos that should be sold in a course and giving them to you for free on YouTube. That was something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and it was something that's really important to me. So some of these are going to be long videos, some of them are going to be really short, but because this is one of the most important foundational things of a business, I want you to really, we got to dig in deep here. So bear with me on some of the videos that are longer, and I will do my best to always be concise and keep them short for you for the most part. But for this, you gotta go through the steps here. So thank you for tuning in to the first video in this series. I'm so excited to kind of take you along the journey of me starting a dog poop bag company, but also showing you and explaining to you all the things and the whys and the hows, because without explaining why I'm doing something, but also without showing you, here's what I'm doing, it's going to be harder for you to kind of tag along and do the same with your own business idea that you have. So thank you for coming on this journey with me. Make sure that you tap that like and subscribe button, and stay tuned for what's coming. Like I said, I am taking you on the journey with me of creating a product-based business. I'm starting a new dog poop bag brand, and you're going to see all the things from how to choose a supplier to the branding and, DIYing some things, hiring professionals for some things, how I came up with the name. Am I trademarking it? How do I come up with the packaging? How do I do a Shopify store? Am I going to sell on Amazon, and what's the process? So all the things I'm literally going to be sharing with you step by step on this channel, and I'm so excited. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and if you like the video, definitely let me know in the comments, and let me know any ideas for videos. Like, oh, I wish you could do a video on this. Definitely let me know in the comments, because I will go as deep as you want, but let me know when you're looking for something specific. All right. See you guys next week.